Airsoft, and welcome back to another video of me talking to myself for way too long and making no coherent sense. That's what my videos boil down to, basically. So guys, welcome. Today we are going to be doing a little Q&A. I was kind of hyping this up, I guess. It's not much to hype, but I was talking about this for a little bit when we were doing the 500 subscriber giveaway. I mentioned that in my other video, the most intense airsoft video ever. You guys seem to like that one. That one got quite a lot of views. That was a fun one to make, just the intro part at least. So yeah, let's just cut the crap and dive right on into your guys' questions. Okay, first question from Unity. If you could have any airsoft gun in the world, what would it be? Honestly, if I could have any airsoft gun in the world, I know some people would say like a minigun or the micro gun or something like that. If I could have any airsoft gun in the world, it would be Airsoft Alphonsus M249. That thing just shreds. If you guys have ever seen any of his gameplay videos or ever played with him, you guys know that thing is terrifying. The rate of fire and the range and just, it's a spooky gun. And I would hate to play against him because I would get destroyed. So yeah, definitely Airsoft Alphonsus M249, that'd be an awesome one to have. Okay, Salt Eggplant, what's your favorite Fortnite skin? Sorry. No, you're not sorry. I actually don't play Fortnite, but I mean, if I did, I wouldn't. Okay, this question from Poison Boost Gaming. What editing software do you use? I use Sony Vegas 15 Suite. I know some people use, especially Josh from AFO, he uses Adobe, most different Adobe products. I forget which one is the actual video editing part of Adobe. There actually might be several. But I use Sony Vegas 15 Suite. It's the most recent version of Sony Vegas. And it is good software. It's what I started with. Actually, the first real software that I got besides Windows Movie Maker was Sony Vegas 11. And so I've just kind of stuck with it ever since. I've gotten to know it really well. It's just good software. I like it. It's not perfect. You know, it does crash. It crashes quite a bit. And that also might be the fault of having a 10-year-old laptop that still runs on Windows 7 with like 4 gigs of RAM. I need a new laptop. So, yeah, I use Sony Vegas 15 Suite. Okay, question from Cornchips82. Is that Wyatt kid your best friend? No. No, that question was asked. Cornchips82 is Wyatt. But no, Wyatt, you're a good friend. I wouldn't say best friend because I don't hang out with you the whole lot, but Wyatt, yes, you are a good friend. Let's see, question from Night Matt. What's your social security number? It's 1-800-NO-YOU. Okay. Question from Crovey. What job do you have to provide for airsoft funds? I actually work as a lifeguard and I also work at a trampoline park. They're both kind of decent pay. With the lifeguarding, I get a 25% raise every year, so it's every summer I come back, but it's okay. Started at a minimum wage and yeah. So I don't know, pays decent, but working 2 jobs can be kind of hard. But yes, I work as a lifeguard and also I work at a trampoline park. Question from Grey Wolf Airsoft. What is your favorite game / Milsim? Honestly, my favorite game or Milsim that I've ever been to was probably... Alright, sorry, I had to think there for a second about all the games that I've been to. Honestly, my favorite game is probably the indoor night at PBX hosted by Mir Tactical. It was the, I went to the one in February. It was the indoor CQB field. It's normally their laser tag field, but they used it just for airsoft that night. That was a really fun game. We got some good footage out of that. It was a lot of fun. We played till like 11:30 at night, and so everyone got kind of pissed off and very tired. And we ended up doing a little TTT at the end, and also that's where my first EOTech got shot out. So yeah, but I'd say that's my favorite game. As far as Milsims, I haven't really been to a whole lot. My favorite, I guess, would be Conflicts 3. That was a really good objective-based game. I wouldn't really call it a super Milsim, but it was a good objective-based game with some good team coordination. Yeah. I think, yeah, those would probably be my favorites. Moving on, question from ISO Images. Have you ever really been far, even as decided to use even go want to do look more like? Yes. Alright, question again from Grey Wolf Airsoft. What do you do besides airsoft? Well, as I said before, I work as a lifeguard and also a trampoline park. As far as other hobbies go, I do a little bit of photography, and then also I'm in school right now, so school kind of takes up most of my life along with the 2 jobs that I have. Okay, some more questions from Salt Eggplant. How did you come up with your name? Well, I mean, I live in Illinois and I play airsoft, so yeah, basically. That's about as creative as I get. But no, there actually was a period of time for a while where there was a field called Airsoft X that was like maybe 5 minutes away from my house, and unfortunately that closed pretty soon after I really got into airsoft. And so for a while it seemed like it was just me and my friends that were playing, you know, just in the backyard, and like we were the only ones in Illinois that really played, at least just in my central Illinois area. So I guess when I really started the channel, I was kind of just thinking about stuff. I didn't want to do like XX call sign ghost, you know, or call, you know, one of the stereotypical call signs. I just thought, you know what, hey, let's do something kind of original, and I just went with the Illinois Airsofter, and it's been that way ever since. Okay, so that is all for the questions in that video. Now I'm going to pull some from some earlier videos and just see what you guys have been asking. I know I get a lot of repeat questions, so I'll just kind of go through those real quick. Okay, let's see here. This is from Airsoft Gun versus Smartphone. Okay, here we go. Question from Eclis D. I really hope I pronounced that right again. I was having some trouble in the live stream pronouncing that. Hey, where in Illinois are you at? I'm in the kind of central Illinois area. I'm not going to give you my address or anything, but I'm in the central Illinois area around Peoria and Pekin and those kind of counties. So I play at Pekin. I consider that my home field. Yeah, so I'm kind of in the central Illinois area. I'd like to kind of branch out to a few more areas. I know like there's a few more game fields in northern Illinois. I'd like to go check those out a bit more, like especially PBX and CPX, as well as Bing down in Edwardsville, I think. And then any of the other ones that I didn't mention. I'd like to kind of get around in Illinois more, but right now I'm just kind of in the central Illinois area. Okay, question from Whisper99. I live around Pekin and I've never been there before. Is it a good field? I run an SSG 24, so is it too small or good field? And do you know where any other fields are? Central Illinois sucks for airsoft fields, lol. Well, yes, it kind of does suck for airsoft fields, but there is Pekin, which is, I don't know, it's a good one. Pekin is a very good field. I consider it my home field. It's a good one. I know pretty much everyone who plays there. You know, we all kind of show up all the time. Or it's always the same people usually. There's a few extras here and there, but usually it's like the same kind of people every time. But yeah, it is a good field. As far as like the actual fields go, they're a lot of fun. One of them is called Firing Range. It's based off of the same map from Call of Duty Black Ops, I believe. It's either Modern Warfare or Black Ops. But that field is like almost an exact replica in terms of the Call of Duty field. And in terms of running an SSG, I don't think snipers are really the best for Pekin. Most of the fields are mid-range to CQB. I mean, most snipers anyway have a 100-foot minimum engagement distance, and you'd probably have to be standing in the back of your spawn shooting at people, you know, just outside of their spawn on the largest field to be able to actually, you know, be shooting at people legally. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend using a sniper. I'd recommend either, you know, an AEG or maybe a DMR. Again, some of the larger fields, because there is one that goes from the east side to the west side of the field that would be good for DMR and shorter, but not a sniper. Jeff Franco, where do you play at? I play at Pekin Paintball Park, as I've said before. Also, I play at Blast Camp whenever I can. They have some monthly kind of event games. And then I also play at PBX occasionally. Really, I've only been there once, but I'd like to get there some more for their outdoor fields. I know they have a Nuketown field, which I'm really wanting to go to. But yeah, that's pretty much all the places I've played at so far. Okay, question from AFOMD Airsoft. What do you film the non-first person stuff with? This was from the I'm So Sorry music montage. So my DSLR camera is a Lumix FZ100. It's a pretty good camera. It has a good microphone on it, but the image quality isn't super good, and it records at 1080 60i as the maximum one, and just it's an okay camera. You know, it's the one that I'm using right now. I like it and everything, but it is kind of time to upgrade. But I use a Lumix FZ100. Alrighty, question from, oh dear, I'm gonna butcher this so hard. Vicente Pinaula. I'm sorry. What optic / gun do you run? For my optic, I use a replica EOTech that I got just as a Chinese knockoff from AliExpress. It's kind of like a Chinese eBay. And then the gun is a G&G SRL, and internally I've put in a flat hop and a 6.03 Type bore barrel. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. Okay, 3 questions from Crusader Airsoft. Where do you get the EOTech, and do you use anything to protect your zoom camera lens, and if so, what? Lastly, which battery is that on the side of your gun? Oh, okay. Okay, so with the first question, where did I get my EOTech? I got it from AliExpress. It's just a Chinese eBay, kind of, or Chinese Amazon, more like it, actually. And do you use anything to protect your zoom camera lens? No, I do not, mainly because it's just so small and there's really almost no chance of that getting hit. And I mean, people aren't really shooting at my gun anyways, they're shooting at my torso. So, I don't really protect the actual zoom camera lens at all. I do have a protector on the front of my EOTech sight now, because my first one got destroyed. And then lastly, which battery is that on the side of your gun? That's the batteries that I use, the power banks that I use for my zoom cam and selfie cam. Those are just some generic ones. I think I got them from either Walmart or Walgreens, but they're just some cylinder type power banks. I think they have, it's like a 2000 mAh on them. About, I don't know. Question from TSG Productions. Hey, I live in Illinois and I want to start playing Airsoft. What is a good field to start at? P.S. I live north of Chicago, if that helps. I mean, I don't really know a whole lot about all the fields up there, so definitely check out airsoftc3.com. They have a whole map of basically all the fields and shops in the whole United States. But I mean, personally, I'd say PBX is a pretty good one. Blast Camp is a really good one as well. It's one that I play at pretty often. I think Black Ops is in Wisconsin. Black Ops Airsoft, they're a pretty good one. I think there's another one. There might be a few more. But I'm sure just check out airsoftc3.com and you can see all of the different fields around your area. Alrighty, question from False Fame. Illinois versus Illinois. Well, the correct pronunciation is Illinois. I know some people say it like Illinois. It is not Illinois. The S is silent on the end. I know Revention, when he answered one of my questions during one of his little Q&A things, he said Illinois, and I wanted to cry. Thankfully though, Airsoftology Jonathan said Illinois, which is the correct pronunciation. Question from the Brain Exploder. Is it a replica or legit EOTech? As I said before, it is a replica. It's a Chinese cheap knockoff. It's like $25, I believe. I would get a real one, but it's kind of expensive. And I don't have a whole lot of money, so yes, it is a replica EOTech. It works well though. You know, I used it in lots of different environments, and super bright, you know, sunny, outdoor all the time, and then also indoors, and it works well. I'll probably provide a link actually in the description for the one that I bought. Okay, another question from XXKilltacular02. Which GoPro do you use? Most of my videos so far have been filmed with the GoPro Hero Plus, which is actually the one that I just gave away. But the GoPro that I use now is... Let me get it. Okay. The GoPro that I use now is the Hero 4 Black. It's pretty good so far. This is one that I actually got off of eBay, and it came with some cheap Chinese knockoff batteries that don't really work super well. But as far as the camera goes, the camera works super well. Audio's pretty good. I got a skeletonized housing for it, so the audio's good. Yeah, so I use the GoPro Hero 4 Black from now until I get a new GoPro, I guess, or stick with this one. Question from Tyler Whitmer, who, by the way, just won the Tier 2 prize. 130mm or 160mm hive suppressor. The one that I use on my G&G is the 160mm. It just fit well with the inner barrel that or the type bore barrel that I use. It's a 400 something millimeter type bore, and I just wanted to get the longer suppressor, and it fits well and matches right up to the end of the gun with the inner barrel and all that stuff. Okay, last question from Valor Airsoft. It looks like you have two Mobius cameras. How did you mount them both? They're actually RunCam 2s, and I mount them with the Brain Exploder dual RunCam 2 PEC box mounts, which I actually did a review on. You can find that in my videos. But I use that. It's made by the Brain Exploder, 3D printed. It holds both cameras very well. You have two cameras right next to each other, zoom cam facing out, selfie cam facing towards you. And there's also room underneath to strap on some power banks if you want. And actually my cameras do not run without the power banks because the batteries are kind of broken. So yeah, I use the RunCam 2s and the mount from Brain Exploder. Alrighty guys, so that is all the questions for today. If you have any more questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments of this video, or any video really. I'll be sure to reply to them, or if I don't, then I'll answer them in the next Q&A that I do, if I get enough questions, of course. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.